Scientists believe there's life on Mars because a meteor struck Earth from Mars that landed 13,000 years ago and it contained traces of dead bacteria and fossils from over 13 billion years ago. There's no evidence that there is currently life on Mars. Some scientists think that they found evidence that there was life on Mars at some time in the past. Some scientists believe there isn't life on Mars because about 100 years ago people saw lines on the surface of Mars and called them canals, thinking that they might have been built by Martians. But today we know that they are just natural features.
Spaceships like the Viking were sent to Mars and found no evidence of life on the surface of the planet, even though a few years ago people found a meteorite in Antarctica that had struck about 13,000 years ago. We know the meteorite is from Mars because it contains traces of Martian atmosphere. Inside the meteorite, they found some types of molecules which are usually only produced by living creatures, which means there was a small chance that there was living creatures on Mars that were just too small to see.
In addition to that statement, in the rock they found some tiny shapes which they think might be fossils of bacteria. 3.6 billion year old dead bacteria. Scientists also believe that there was water on Mars at one point in time, and most scientists believe that water is necessary for life. The pictures of Mars relayed to Earth by the Mars Observer show signs of dried up lake beds, past floods, and old river channels. However, no one knows whether the molecules they found in the meteorite really came from Mars, or whether they ended up in the meteorite after they fell to Earth, or if the dried up lake beds and river canals actually carried water at some time in the past. Most scientists believe that there isn't life on Mars.
To live on Mars, we need to bring all the things that we need to grow things like trees and plants to supply us with oxygen, and that those would have to be grown in a secure, airtight greenhouse with connections to all of the living areas and areas that we need to go to. We'd also have to grow our own food and run air to an airtight building where we would feed animals. As well as this, we'd probably have to mine and dig for water and melt ice so that we could have more water. But of course, this would require a lot of research to be done beforehand how we get it. But we could live on Mars. The closest to what we need to gas.
In the end, we could live on Mars, but it would be very expensive and time-consuming, as well as the possibility of death to many people along the way. We also don't know if there is already life on Mars. If there was, then we would be totally different from what we have seen here on Earth, because they have to adapt to the environment around them. The question to you, if there was life on Mars, is if they are still there.